So I don't know about you, but I'm totally ready for grilling season. It's been way too long since we've actually fired up, the grill and done all the things, which really means it's been way too long since I have had a break from cooking and Mr. Soap and Clay has taken the reins because I don't know how to grill. I'm talking about grilling for a not so random reason. As you may have figured out, my random stream of consciousness sometimes is actually connected to what we're doing for the day. And today we are making a watermelon soap. But before we get into that, hi, I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to another round of 365 Days of Soap. You are at Soap and Clay, and today we are making the watermelon soap. Now, the watermelon soap is a soap that I don't think I've ever actually stocked in my line. I think it's only been available in the, 12 months of soap packages on the website. But we are going to start stocking it for, a month or so in the shop and online. So yay. This particular batch is actually a custom order for a wholesale account that, requested it. So I'm making it for them, and then I made some extra for the shop so you guys can totally pick it up as well. And it smells of watermelon and it's amazing, and I will tell you more about it through the video. So let's go do that. So today on 365 Days of Soap, we are making the watermelon soap. And this is not a bar that I've ever actually sold individually. It is one that I just have in the 12 months of soap gift set. But a Sudser made a request for this. They took advantage of my wholesale pricing for a complete batch. And so I made it and did the thing. And decided that, it's time. It's summertime. We're, getting ready for backyard barbecues and all that jazz. And so we should go ahead and make the watermelon soap for not only them, but also for us. So I went ahead and made a couple batches to have available for purchase on the website as well. Now, this soap smells of blueberries. I'm kidding. It was a joke. It smells like watermelon, like you'd expect. Big, juicy, bright, awesome watermelon. Yeah. And with this soap, we are doing a 3-color design. 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. We put 4 colors in this, plus like the black seed, so I guess technically 5, but whatever. The liquid soap batter now is going to be a 4 color. Now, for the base, we have the dark green and the light green that will be mixed in the pot swirl and then put into the mold first to give it like a mottled appearance, right? Like the rind of a watermelon, like the dark green and the light green. There's some white. Yeah, you know what a watermelon looks like. And so for this, the batter itself, it's staying reasonably fluid throughout the pour, and then I will let it set up a little bit to pour the white, and then I will put the pink, the beautiful bright pink on top with some black seed embeds. Now, I've done the embeds different for, every time I make the soap. This particular time I'm doing smaller embeds to look more like, watermelon seeds. And yeah, that's kind of it. The soap batter itself, it is made with coconut oil, babassu oil, shea butter. So it's about 50% of the oils are those 3. And then apricot and grapeseed for the other 2. No olive oil in this recipe. I'm kind of hit or miss with olive oil. I sometimes love it, I sometimes hate it. Sometimes I find that olive oil is a little bit slimy with the lather, and I don't really like that, but it's great for, gentle cleansing. But this is not really a video about olive oil soaps, and we'll talk about that on another day, because right now it is time for the pour of the watermelon soap. So as I said, we are going to be taking the 2 green colors that have been put in the pot swirl and pouring all of that into the mold itself. And that's going to create, you know, what the outside of a watermelon looks like, with the dark green and the light green sort of mixed together. And then we want that to set up a little bit. So while that is setting up, we are going to get the rest of the colors ready to go. So I'm just sort of eyeballing how much white I'm going to need for this. It's always, I don't know, I eyeball things. I used to really measure things out. I don't do it anymore. And we're going to mix up the white really well, and then get the pink ready to go too. And then we will sort of divide the rest of the scent in between these 2 containers here to make sure that every little bit smells of watermelon. And this scent is just really amazing. It's legitimately, it's watermelon. It's amazing. I don't know why I don't make this for my line during the summer months. I should, and you know, now I'm gonna, so it doesn't matter. In addition to separating the rest of the scent in between, you know, the 2 remaining containers, we're also going to separate the kaolin, which is what's going on there. So for this particular batch, the kaolin clay has been mixed with water. It adds a little bit of extra water to the batch, but it yields an easier incorporation of the kaolin, really. And water's an interesting thing in cold process soap making. Like, it's kind of arbitrary what soapers do and how much water they use for their soaps. And I've seen it all over the board. Me personally, I use like a 35% solution there with my water, and so it's 35% of my, you know, total oils is, you know, like my water blend. And other soapers do it completely differently, and there's reasons as to why you use more or less water, and that's not for this video. We'll do that. I'll file it away. We'll do a water in soap ratio video at some point. So I have put the white in now, laying it down on top of the green, and it laid down beautifully. The green had set up really nicely for all of this, and it made for a really nice pour of the white. So none of that white is going to sort of like dip into the green. So it'll make a nice, you know, strict line of delineation, which is good. And once that has cured up a little bit, we're also going to take the pink, and we're going to very gently lay it on top of the white, because we really want to make sure that that does not break down into the white portion either. This is a layered soap, and I hate layered soaps. I'm not a fan of them. I never have been, because I don't have a lot of patience for them. But this particular blend and the way that I created the oil blend has really made for soap batter that's setting up really nicely through all the stages, and it's allowing me to do my layers sort of properly and not lose my mind waiting for, you know, an emulsified batch as opposed to a traced batch to set up so I can do the next step. Now, the next step for this is going to be putting the first layer of the seeds in. Now, I made these seeds ahead of time, and I am just going to lay them in the mold. Now, again, I say that I do the seeds kind of differently each time I make this soap, depending on what kind of time I have, or honestly what kind of a desire I have. Sometimes when I'm lazy, or if I've already mixed up the soap and then realized I did not make the embeds, I will just put poppy seeds in to substitute to mimic the watermelon seeds. This time though, I actually prepared, which is, yeah, kind of unlike me. And I made the embeds ahead of time. I actually used for this guy a silicone mold in the shape of a butterfly that I bought from a supplier a long time ago and have yet to use in any of my soaps. But the sort of, you know, like the butterfly, whatever, cutting off the wings, which sounds very macabre. Anyway, cutting off the 4 corners of the soap that had gone into the butterfly mold kind of made for sort of perfect seeds for watermelon. So we are layering those on into the soap, and after each, you know, stage of putting them in, I am putting more of the pink soap batter on top of it and covering it up, so they are not all in one, you know, straight line within the bar. They have some sort of, you know, there's depth to them in different, you know, layers. So that's, you know, fun, because not all watermelon seeds are, you know, in one place within the watermelon, really. And now that all of the embeds have been put in, we are going to top the rest of it off with the remaining pink soap batter. And then I will wait for that to firm up a little bit, and we will then put on, or we will texture the top and get it all spritzed and covered and ready to go through gel. Now, again, this soap was a wholesale order. It was, well, from a sudser, using the wholesale order, you know, prices that I offer my sudsers. So retail customers can get my soaps at wholesale prices if they buy, you know, the entire loaf, essentially, so 12 bars. And so a sudser took me up on this, and she specifically wanted the watermelon soaps, and so I made the watermelon soaps, and I'm doing the thing. And now we're going to texture the tops, and for a final touch, I put some poppy seeds on the top, just to give the top, you know, some prettiness and whatever. I don't really know why I do it, because the top is plenty pretty just like that, but you know, whatever. I like poppy seeds. I think they're fun, and I'm gonna do the thing and put them on top because I'm making it, and yeah. So yeah, there you go, just right there in the middle. Just put the poppy seeds right in that little sort of ravine that I've created with texturing the top. I love a good textured top soap. I very rarely get to do textured tops because my soap batter is usually very, very thin. So this was, you know, this is a cool day. I got to the texture. And now this is ready for gel. Okay, so it is day 2, and the soap is cured overnight. It is set up, and oh God, isn't that beautiful? It's so nice. Look how, it's so, oh, look at that. Look how pretty it is. I love the green on the bottom. The dark green, the light green, these two colors were really good to sort of give the, you know, the outside of the watermelon look. I am very, very happy with how the two greens have turned out. And also, you know, with the white, that's beautiful, and the pink is equally. I did a good job, guys. Look at me go. Isn't that the cutest watermelon soap ever, is what I'm, you know, getting at. And yeah, there's just nothing wrong with this batch. Everything looks amazing, and it all smells amazing, and there are no sort of pockets or problems that we'd want to be concerned with. And yeah, it's a successful pour. That is day 31 of 365 days of soap. It is the watermelon soap, and she smells as good as she looks, and she looks amazing, so you can imagine how great she smells. I love how we changed up the seeds this time around. It's a really fun bar, and I like making it, you know, every time. But this time making the sort of smaller seeds, it definitely gave a more realistic vibe. The smell definitely contributes to the realistic vibe because it smells like the best, most juicy watermelon on the planet. So it's a huge win in my book. And yeah, if you are interested in the watermelon soap, you can find it at soapandclay.com. If you're interested in following me on social media, you can find me on all of them. And if you are interested in the channel, thanks, and subscribe and do the things. And yeah, I hope you had a good time today. I definitely had a good time with you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.